GoPro's acting up on me.
Hello and welcome to Grid Series Round 2, Heat 3. We're starting on P2 alongside Dalton and we're getting straight into the race here. We're not going to wait around, telling us to get our visors down so that we don't, get any rocks or bugs in our eyes. 5 red lights. They're out and I get a fairly decent start just alongside Dalton, but I've nowhere for me to go, so I just pull out nicely and stay behind him. Following him now, my aim here is just to try and keep up with him really. Just try and keep on his back as much as possible. Make sure that he doesn't get away, so that I can try and pressure him into making a mistake. But that's best case scenario here. I'm looking to hold position, keep them P2, don't let anyone else behind me overtake me, and as soon as I'm past that, then I can start working towards a good position for the final, because these points here are going to rack up very nicely for me if I can keep the P2, which will mean that I'll most likely end up in the A final, but if I manage to keep the P2 here. I'll end up in the A final, which means I'm with all of the fastest drivers, most likely in Sheffield, but from this session obviously, you're only as fast as the other drivers in the session. So we're just going to try and keep it clean. A bit of a moment there as he brakes a bit earlier than me and I almost go into the back of him, but I managed to avoid it. I do go a bit wide though, which can be a bit of a problem because I have a little look behind me to make sure that I'm not being pressured again. So now it's going to be all about closing back up to him, just trying to keep with him, pull away from the rest of the pack and try to make a move. So I'll let this unfold out. Actually no, I won't, because I've just had a bit of a bump with the barrier there. If I keep doing that, then I'll lose my P2 and probably end up P13 or something. So I very much need to stop doing that. Just take it consistent and steadily through the corners. Make sure that I'm still building the time though. And yeah, I've just got to keep it nice and clean. I do close up in sector 3 a lot more than in the other two sectors. So I know that I'm strong in sector 3 compared to the other two, which might be something that I can work on. Obviously these hairpins can cause me a bit of grief, as I don't really have actual specific braking points for them. I just kind of go off references of when, like very, very slight references that aren't really reliable as they could be, but I close up a bit there into the fine hairpin. I've just got to make sure, because I don't have mirrors, so none of us have mirrors, so I've got to really make sure that I'm being defensive whilst attacking at the same time. So you'll see into that very high speed to low speed hairpin chicane, whatever you want to call it, like sequence of corners. I'll take it quite defensively on the entry to the actual like sequence of corners, so that I don't get dive bombed, because that has happened to me multiple times before, and I'm a quick learner. I'll learn quite quickly if I make a mistake, so I've just got to now make sure that I'm not doing that. I'm going a bit defensively and also trying to close up to Dalton, and we're sticking quite tightly to him, to be fair. We're both probably making about the same amount of mistakes. Not many of course, but still a few. But you'll see here I take the normal line, as I kind of know now that I'm not really getting pressured from behind as much, because otherwise I'd be able to feel him on my bumper, and he hasn't bumped on my bumper for a while, and I can kind of see when the track folds back on itself where everyone is, so that gives me great advantage coming into this next sequence of corners, as I'm able to really see where everyone else is compared to me and the leader. So I'm going to shut up now, let the race fall out, as we're really closing up to the back of him now. We might try and look for a move, we might not, it depends. We're just going to have to keep it nice and clean and pressure him into a mistake as he kind of clips the barrier there. So yeah, I'll let this fall out and see how it is. coming now onto the last corner of the race. Pretty nice that Warden actually doesn't realise that it's the end of the race, as you can see he's waving his flag now, but before, like as we came around into turn 1 and crossed the start finish line, he didn't realise that it was the end of the race and we'd actually come through over the start finish line, because he was watching another battle that was, I think he said they were 4 wide later on, but it was a great race, I can't lie, very good race. Not really much else I could have done there, to be honest. Dying from very, very, very quick left me no space to even look at an overtake. So hats off to you, my friend. And yeah, P2. That'll put me very nicely up in the standings for the final. I hope to see you all there. P2, 0 places lost, as you can see. I'll let you watch the rest of this because there's a bit of conversation. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Check out the description. There's a few bit of socials in there, a bit more information about my upcoming expedition that I'll be doing in a very nice Mexican jungle. So check that out if you want. And yeah, make sure you're tuned in for the final, which is going to be a very interesting race. Definitely worth watching. Thank you.
Very close. Much closer. All the car. Oh, time to see if my GoPro is recording or not.